Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Casually Fit Podcast. My name is Rob. It is episode 43. It is the middle of the week. It is time to get pumped up, get excited, because we're going to be talking about fitness today. I got some quotes to show you. I got a quote to show you today. Got a fit fighter, got a couple tips, and a fit freak. Going to try to keep this episode moving along for you, not to take up too much of your time, and just give you some useful information. As for myself, I just got done with surfing, and I feel pretty good. I feel pretty relaxed right now. Had a good, nice little session, and super stoked about it. But let's get into the quote. So the quote today is by none other than Vince Lombardi. Now, I am a little partial to Vince Lombardi. Even though I was born in San Diego, I did grow up, and I live in San Diego now. I did grow up in Wisconsin. So Wisconsin, you go there, it's just a bunch of cheeseheads. It's a bunch of Packer stuff. Green Bay, everything is gold and green. And I'm a fan. I was a fan of it when I lived there. I don't really watch football right now, but I am still, if they win, they win. I'm happy about it, right? But Vince Lombardi was one of their famous coaches. I believe he was, I can't remember. I'm not a football statistician or anything. I don't spend my time watching ESPN and trying to find out all the different stats that mean absolutely nothing. But I'm not sure how many Super Bowls he won, but he did a really good job when he was there at Green Bay. And he had a lot of great quotes. In fact, when I was playing football growing up, I don't know if it was a Wisconsin thing or what, but they always just fed us quotes from Vince Lombardi. And here is one of them. The quote is, "Most people fail not because of lack of desire, but because of lack of commitment." And this relates to weight loss, trying to lose weight, because, it seems kind of, if you're at the very beginning of trying to lose weight, maybe this is the first time you've ever tried to lose weight, it seems kind of ridiculous to some people to think, well, I want to lose weight so much, so how am I going to actually fail at it? I feel like I want to lose weight. It's one of the biggest things I want to do, and I'm super pumped up about it. I bought the gym shorts, I bought the membership, I got the bottle of water, I got the supplements, I got the programs, I got a trainer, I got all these things I want to do, and I want to do it. And you have that very, right in the beginning, there's a huge, when you make the switch from not caring about losing weight or anything like that, and then, whether it's over a day, a week, months, years, however long it is, but then it switches to, one day you weren't doing anything about losing weight, and now you're trying to do everything to try to lose weight. That's the height of desire to lose the weight is pretty high right there. There's euphoria going on. There's your change in your life. You're literally changing the things that you do in a day, a bunch of different things that you do in a day, how you feed yourself. So again, the emotions are high at this time and the desire is high. So if that's you, you might be thinking, well, of course I'm going to lose weight because I want it so bad. And yes, you can keep on going on that desire, and you can let that desire drive you and override all the difficulties that you're going to face, for sure. But also, what's going to happen for a lot of people, what happens for, the stat that I will always say is that, more than 80% of people who try to lose weight fail. And I'm sorry if I just bummed you out right there, but it's true. Okay. This is a fact. This is a reality that people need to face when they're trying to lose weight, because they're not facing it before. And I think that's what leads to people actually not being able to lose weight, by not facing reality and realizing how difficult it's going to be. But what I was saying about this quote, sorry, I went off on a tangent, but what I was saying about this quote is that this heightened sense of emotions, this desire that somebody might have in the very beginning right now, again, it could drive you through for a while. But what can happen is some difficulties, right? Maybe it is easy to change your diet, for the first couple days, or maybe the first couple weeks. But there is going to be a point to where You might realize more, or you just have a bunch of bad things pile up, and then all of a sudden you're having a bad day, and then you have to still try to lose weight, try to have a good diet, or you go and work out that day. That's where commitment comes in. That's where, for a lot of people, the emotions don't always override it. The euphoria doesn't always push through those situations, and that's where a question of commitment comes up. And for a lot of people, that's where it falls apart. That's where maybe they weren't really committed about doing it. Maybe they kind of wanted to lose weight. They know they should lose weight. And enough people kind of force them into this situation to try to lose weight, but they didn't really, commit to doing it. They're just like, oh yeah, I want to lose weight. And then you start realizing all the things that come into it. And then that's where you have to commit. Really, you have to, when you're going through those difficult times, you have to ask yourself, like, are you committed to losing weight, or aren't you? If you're not committed to losing weight, then try to get committed, right? Try to change your mind on that. Or you can just stop. Obviously, that's not the best option. But also, before you come up to those situations, if you're committed, if you know you're committed, if you're like, no matter what happens, over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, however long it takes, I'm gonna lose weight, then those bumps on the road are just gonna be bumps on a road. There's just gonna be these things that you have to kind of deal with to lose weight, and you don't really care about it too much because you're committed. It's just something that comes with it. And if you're not committed, then everything that comes up, you're kind of like, oh, well, this is going to throw me off. This is going to throw me off my path. So Vince Lombardi hit it right on the head. He said, most people fail not because of lack of desire. So he's not, in this circumstance, nobody's saying that you don't want to lose weight. And if you fail at it, it might not be because of desire. It might be because you haven't committed to doing everything that it takes to lose weight, right? And also that desire, a lot of people, they like to tell you, if we go away from losing weight, people want to tell you they're doing something in their lives. Like they want to tell you they met this person, or they want to tell you that they're doing this thing. And that's all desire. That's all like hyped up. Maybe they want approval or whatever it is. I've known people who love doing the front. They like putting up the front and saying, oh, I'm going to do this, right? Whatever it is, like build a business. I'm going to start this thing. If you go into some like weird hustle motivation, entrepreneur, I can't talk. If you go in some hyped up, highly motivated, entrepreneurial, right, circles, you're going to find a lot of people who like to hype some things up and kind of front. They're not really committed to actually following through with it, but they really do have a desire that they want to do this, and they like telling people that they want to do it. But then when you peel back the curtain, you see that they don't have commitment and they're not doing the things that need to be done. Well, I've definitely come across people who say they want to lose weight and they say they're trying to lose weight, but have they really committed to everything? Have they, once you start, when you're talking to somebody that's pretty hefty and they say, well, I've been trying to lose weight for 4 years. And if the conversation leads to you start getting into some details and you realize that they haven't actually been watching their diet and they haven't actually been working out, but they really want to lose weight and they say that they've been trying to lose weight, well, I would say, well, how committed are you? You're, not doing all the things that need to be done shows a lack of commitment. If you're doing everything that needs to be done, that shows that you're committed. So if you're trying to lose weight, look, get committed, okay? Get committed. Take on the heavier load that is needed, and you're just going to be better off. So that's the quote from Vince Lombardi, all right? Shout out to all the Packer fans out there. But let's get into the Fit Fighter of the Week. Again, this is somebody, I want to show you somebody that's on the journey, somebody that is fighting for fitness, somebody's trying to lose some weight. And I like to show you people who have already lost a decent chunk of weight, somebody who has already gone through the journey. So hopefully, you can grab their Instagram handles or whatever, and DM them if you want, or you just follow them. And most of these people that I'm going to show you are people that post up about their journey, the things that they've went through, the workouts that they do, the diets that they've tried out. They're like just a wealth of information for people. So that's why I like to share the Fit Fighter of the Week with you. And this week is discovering_Chan. Now, I'm pretty positive this is a real account. It looks real, right? She doesn't have too many posts, not too many followers. But I think it's real. The pictures are for sure real. If you're watching the podcast on the YouTubes, you can see a huge weight difference, right? Let's just assume that she's real, right? Whether if this account is real or not, that's questionable. These pictures and this person, this seems like a very real transformation. But her heaviest weight was 260 pounds, and her current weight is 153 pounds, right? So just over 100 pounds that she lost. And that's pretty ridiculous, right? Again, that's a lot of people are losing a lot of weight. All right. And that's good to hear. We get to see people who are going through this journey, who are going through the struggle and taking up the seemingly impossible, like losing 100 pounds. I'll say it again. That's such a huge feat to accomplish, right? Losing 100 pounds. It's life-changing. And as you can see with the pictures, she is changing her life, right? And it does seem like she went, I'm not saying anything about it. She does seem like she did a surgery. And it looks like the surgery is good. I'll always say, if you're thinking about doing a surgery, if your doctor says whatever they say that you should do it, if you feel like you want to do it, if it makes sense, and do it, right? You got to make sure that you're also instilling all the habits that usually come with a weight loss from diet and exercise. You have to make sure that you just don't go back to your old habits. When you do the surgery, you also have to change all those habits as well to make sure that it sticks. But yeah, she's the Fit Fighter of the Week. Again, hopefully she posts some more, because, you can see her now. And again, when you see pictures like this, when you see people like, I'm guessing her first name's Chan, when you see this, really, when you just look at her now, you really just the thought that she weighed 100 pounds more, in some of these cases that they weigh 200 pounds more, when you look at them now at their current state, it's amazing. It's like you can't even believe it. And again, if you're looking from the other way and you're like, how will I ever lose 100 or 200 pounds? Check these people out, right? Because it is possible. But yeah, that's the Fit Fighter of the Week, discovering_Chan. And let me get into this is a diet tip for the week. And this is going to be maybe a little ranty. I don't know. It's not ranty. But the tip for the week is that, one thing with fitness, exercising, trying to lose weight, if you go on Google search, they're going to put a bunch of answers for you. If you ask Google how to lose weight, a bunch of the answers that you're going to get are going to have words like simple, fast, easy, lose belly fat fast, burn fat fast. It's going to be a lot of fast and simple things to lose weight, and apparently easy as well. Who would have thought that, the thing that you've been trying not to do for so long, the thing that you've been avoiding, the looming cloud that's been over you, who would have thought it was so fast, simple, and easy to do, right? Of course, that's a bunch of, it's a bunch of nonsense for the most part, especially when you're talking about losing 50, 100, 100 plus pounds. I mean, that's not a fast, easy, simple thing at all. So the tip is, because that's pretty much everywhere. If wherever you go, most people who are just trying to sell you a program, diet program, workout program, or training class, whatever it is, they want to give you fast, simple things to get you in. And I just think that just sets people up for failure. And that's been the way that most people have been pitched fitness and losing weight for so long. And I think that's one of the things that attributes to such a high failure rate, is people are just kind of lied to and kind of, just bamboozled, right? It's like you got a shady salesperson who's telling you all these great things, and then and you trust the person, and then you buy whatever it is they're hawking, and you realize it's completely garbage. I mean, you're not going to be happy about whatever product or service you bought. You're not going to be happy with the salesperson, and you're probably going to have a bad taste in your mouth. So I think that's an issue. And so that's why the diet tip is that you shouldn't be thinking that losing weight or just sticking to a diet, this is specifically a diet, you shouldn't think that you changing your diet is going to be easy. Now, I know for a lot of people who kind of put off losing weight, there's kind of an ego thing. A lot of people put off losing weight. I've heard this many times. People who are, in that overweight plus category, who say that they want to lose weight, and they say, like, I can lose weight. Like, no matter what, I can lose weight. Losing weight is easy. I can switch my diet. It's no big deal. I can do this whenever I want. Like, these are things they say. Like, I can do it whenever I want. It's easy. I'll be able to stick to a diet. I just got to do it, right? So none of that really makes sense. It's something that's so easy and that they can do, yet they want to do it, but they haven't done it for the past like 2 or 3 years that they've been thinking about it, right? So that doesn't make sense. But I get that there's an ego thing, because it's, when you're trying to lose weight, or when you're just when you're in that position to where you're facing reality, when you're really fully into reality, most of the things that go on today, we got cell phones, laptops, TVs, we have friends, family, bars, gatherings, we got all these things, we got shows, we got a lot of distractions, to where you can really kind of not be in reality too much. Like, you can distract yourself with your cell phone, either through texting or cruising on YouTube or on Twitter or just whatever you're looking at, and you can distract yourself from even realizing that you should be losing weight. And you can distract yourself enough to fill up the time in your day to where all of a sudden you don't have enough time to lose weight. So when you break away from that, and when you come to full reality, and you're like, oh, I think a lot of people disassociate right now from their bodies, to be honest. And when you're able to get back into that feeling, and you're able to see everything that's at play, and maybe it's a doctor visit, or maybe you just catch that horrible, the lighting's horrible, and you catch that horrible angle and glance in the mirror at yourself, or somebody says some off comment, or whatever it is, you face reality, and it's very uncomfortable for basically everybody when you have to, like, going from kind of knowing that you need to lose weight, and kind of knowing that you need to do it sometime quick, and being in that vague state, to then like maybe talking to a doctor and them saying, hey, you need to lose 150 pounds because you're going to have years taken off your life. You might get type 2 diabetes, a cardiovascular disease. You might have a heart attack. You have chronic inflammation, so your immune system is open up to all these vulnerabilities. So when that comes up, and you're facing that, that's when for most people, that's when their ego kind of comes in and tries grabbing and clawing at anything that they can grab. And that's where you get people who say it's easy and everything. And it's also maybe because they do Google searches and they see, oh yeah, it is easy, because they just ask Google, hey, how do I lose weight? And Google says, through all the top search results and all the ads that are on top, yeah, it is easy. It's fast, simple, and easy, like I started off with, right? But that's completely wrong, okay? And these are the reasons why it's not easy. First up is, I'm just going to go over these quick, but these are the sub points on why you shouldn't think it's easy. And these are areas that you need to pinpoint for your own struggle, right? So if you see these areas in your own struggle with trying to stay on a diet, then start focusing on these areas to reverse some of these bad habits. But first thing, trying to stick on a diet, it's so difficult today because just accessibility, the accessibility to eat bad food. I mean, bad food is more prevalent in every city, in every restaurant. Bad food's more prevalent than good food, right? Unless you're in like some tight-knit community that just has very high-end restaurants. Like there's in San Diego, there's, well, actually not even. I mean, there's a bunch of little spaces in San Diego. Like I'm in downtown. There's Little Italy, like a few blocks away. And it's just obviously Italian food. Italian food, all that pasta, all the carbs, that's not really that healthy. If you're getting some oils and some olives and stuff like that, maybe, you're eating some salmon, things like that. Of course, that's healthy. But there's also a lot of Italian stuff in there, like bread and pasta. And then you go to like Hillcrest area, and that's just like all different types of food. And that's kind of similar in every city. Like no matter where you go, there's not really, like you have to know where the healthy places are. You have to know the healthy things on the menu at maybe the unhealthy places. But it's not apparent. Like there's one place here, it's called like Plant Power. It's a vegan place. And that's like the most prominent, we're healthy place to eat. Other than I was going to say the acai bowl places, but acai bowls, I'm not sure how healthy that is. There's a lot of sugar in there. But what I'm just trying to get at is that, again, we all know this. Like I cruise down the street, I cruise down the freeway here. I just drive 10 minutes. And within that 10 minutes of time on the freeway, I've probably passed, 2 or 3 McDonald's, 2 or 3 Burger Kings. Like they all come in clusters, So you got 2 or 3 Burger Kings, McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's, KFC's, Popeyes. You got all these different fast food places, and then all these other kind of like mom and pop places, which again, not all of that. You have to pinpoint the things on the menu. But it's just so easy and accessible to just cruise into a drive-through or just pick some random restaurant. And more than likely, that random restaurant isn't going to be super health conscious, right? This health conscious stuff is just now starting to come up even more. Back in the 90s, there was just a couple crazy people who are super into health and fitness, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, maybe they have a point, but these people are psychopaths. Like, do we have to listen to them? And now people are actually listening to them because there's more data coming in, more studies have been done, and we're like, oh, our bodies really do not like any of the food that we are feeding it. For most people, the standard American diet, our bodies are not really down with that. And that shows with diseases, type 2 diabetes, a lot of different things, right? So that's one thing. You have to recognize that dieting's not going to be easy because it's so accessible to get unhealthy food. And within that, it's also so accessible to just overeat in calories. Like leading to the next point, the reason why it's also difficult to stick to a diet is because of the amount of calories. Like the average person, again, we're talking about millions, billions of people, right? Not what these studies have conducted with. They didn't use millions of people, but there's such a wide range of people. It's hard to say like what's what. Like when I'm about to say the average person, like it's a pretty big gap, right? There's so many people out there, but the average person should be eating somewhere between like 1,500 to 2,200 calories per day, depending on exercise and a whole bunch of other factors, right? But if you're trying to stick around a healthy weight and you're reasonably fit, you're going to be eating somewhere around there, somewhere around 2,000 calories, let's say. That's like a healthy weight, healthy amount of calories that people not really should be eating. But in this example, again, I'm not saying everybody should be picking this. It's all different for every single person. But let's just say, for math's sake, for me telling you this sake, 2,000 is the number for a healthy weight. Well, most overweight people, now the data on this is sparse, which is weird. Trying to find data on how many calories overweight and obese people eat, trying to find that data is actually pretty difficult. But it seems that most people are eating, who are in the overweight, obese calories, are eating over 6,000 calories per day compared to 2,000. That's over 3 times the amount that overweight and obese people are eating. People who need to lose weight, more than likely you're eating about 3 times as many calories as you should be eating. That's huge. That's such a huge difference. And to think that reducing your amount of calories that much is going to be easy or fast or simple, it's not the case whatsoever. Like if you're trying to lose weight, you need to take your calorie count serious. And it's boring. I'm not a fan. You will never hear me be excited about telling you that you need to count the calories in the food that you eat. My saving grace for this is that, yes, you need to hyper focus on the amount of calories that you're eating and the amount of calories that you're burning to ensure that you're in a caloric deficit. However, that is only for a short amount of time. First of all, for the amount of food that you're eating, just to help ease this whole thing, but it does need to be done, right? But just to help ease this whole thing, to know that there's a certain point you can get to. Well, if you're eating, over the course of 2 months, how you're not really eating different food every single day. Like that's the food you ate on day 1. For the next 59 days, those 59 days didn't consist of completely different food each single day, right? For the most part, you're eating similar food throughout a week's time. Every single week, it's going to be similar. So you're going to already know, once you're in like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, however many weeks in, you're already going to know how many calories are what. So it's going to be, you just have to calculate the number in your head. You don't have to start looking for it. So that's some saving grace, where you just got to calculate it in your head, and you can just do quick math with it. As time goes on, you know how much is what and how much that plays into the overall picture of how many calories that you ate in that day. So I think that's a good thing to have, because again, there's people out there every day now who are fit and in shape, who count their calories and count every single thing that they eat every day. And those people are sociopaths. That's a joke. But they seem absolutely insane to me. And I wouldn't expect anybody to continue that for a very long time. However, if you need to lose 100 pounds, 150 pounds, this is serious stuff. You need to count your calories. But that is a reason why it's so difficult. Like, say the average person needs to eat 2,000 calories, and say that you're eating 6,000 calories per day. You have to, drop 4,000 calories to get down to 2,000. But let's say that you're also burning 2,000 calories. So if you ate 2,000 calories and you burn 2,000 calories, your weight will stay the same. So you drop 4,000 calories, and guess what? You're still saying, well, you are losing weight, actually. Well, I would argue that you still lose weight, but you really need to be in a caloric deficit to keep on losing weight, right? So you need to drop that below even more. You need to go about, like, say 500 more calories below that to make sure you're in a caloric deficit. So that number's so huge, and to dismiss it is just going to, I mean, it's just a thing that's always in the background. That's just, kind of, it has a hand in everything. If you're not paying attention to how important your calorie intake and your calories burned is, then you're always going to be plagued by this, because it's going to be the thing that really halts any progress you really make if you're not keeping track of it. So again, pay attention to that. And as far as accessibility with how many calories, like, if you're used to eating fast food places or, just like pasta, lasagna, it is so easy to eat over 1,000 calories in one single meal. I think a large Big Mac meal or whatever from like Big Mac and large fries and a Coke from McDonald's is, I want to say it's like 1,300 or 1,500 calories, which is crazy, right? That's lunch. You have a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke. That's lunch. It's so easy to stack up 1,500 calories just from lunch. And then you got breakfast. What'd you eat for breakfast? Pancakes. You have how many calories are in pancakes? And you got the maple syrup on there, all that sugar. Got the potatoes, the toast with the boysenberry jam on the toast. It adds up, right? And it's very easy to overeat nowadays. So you need to be aware of this. It's something that is just, it's just the easiest thing to do nowadays is to overeat. And we see that with, the growing numbers of people who are overweight and obese. It's not like a lot of people like to paint overweight and obesity as like a complete laziness thing. And yeah, for some people that plays a part, but there's a lot of things that play into it. And one of them is the accessibility of unhealthy food and how easy it is to overeat in a day. And it's extremely easy. So when you're trying to lose weight, of course, that's going to be a difficult thing to change around. And the last thing on this, on why it's going to be difficult, is I'm telling you all this just so, hey, maybe this bums you out right now, but hopefully you chew over these things, and hopefully you realize that noticing these things and pinpointing them really helps you get on the path of actually losing weight. And I hope, when you start focusing on how easy it is to overeat and the amount of calories that you should be eating, when you focus on that more, hopefully, again, you really look for the healthy places and you really ensure that you're in a caloric deficit. But the last thing on this is also like changing the food type. I mean, that's got to be one of the most difficult parts about this, because unhealthy food most of the time is very delicious. It's very good. It tastes great. I love French toast on a Saturday morning with just buckets of maple syrup pouring over the French toast. But French toast is not good for you. You wouldn't put French toast on the healthy menu, but it tastes delicious. And to swap that out for a quinoa salad in the morning, I mean, what are we talking about? Of course that's going to be hard. That's not fast, simple, and easy at all. You're telling me, I mean, if anybody looks at you in the face straight up and says, hey, it's going to be easy, I know you're eating French toast in the morning with some Frosted Flakes and, buttered muffin or whatever. I know you're eating all that delicious food. Maybe you maybe you usually frequent this breakfast cafe where you get all this, and maybe you even top your French toast with strawberries to get a little fruit in there. I know that that's what you've been eating, but here's this quinoa. Here's this dry, disgusting quinoa, and this is what you're going to eat. And hey, you're dumb if you don't think this is easy. There's something wrong with you if you don't think this is an easy thing to do. And if somebody looks at you straight in the face and says that, call the police, all right? Call the police, get that person arrested, and get them off the streets because they are crazy. Okay, changing the types of food that you're eating, especially if you've been eating. So, I mean, it's no surprise. If you are overweight and you got to lose weight, I mean, you got there from eating food, okay? You got there more than likely because you like to eat food, right? And again, there's no problem with these things, but you got there because you like to eat food and you like to eat really good food and you savor it and you look forward to it. Well, when you look forward to it, not because it's so much as a necessity, like you have to get this food in you, but you look at it or you look forward to it, you desire it because it's so good, because it tastes good, because it dances on your taste buds, and your taste buds are just want it so bad. You want that taste. You want the sweet. Maybe you want the saltiness of it. Whatever it is, that's what you want. And to start switching that out with salad and quinoa and red beets and freaking no bread, no butter, no cereal in the morning, no muffins, nothing like that, right? Just, if you listen to some people, they want you to get a disgusting Tupperware freaking box and have you sit in the kitchen all Sunday and just cook up 10 bland chicken breasts with bland green beans and disgusting, or bland salmon. I would argue salmon with just some lemon is pretty great, but they expect you to switch that over, and for that to be easy, to go from French toast to some bland, disgusting chicken breasts. They don't want you to put seasoning on it. They don't want you to put some Nashville hot sauce on there. They don't want none of that. So to make that switch and to think it's easy is just not the best way to do it. You need to go in it like for an example. I don't like using these examples because I don't like playing up anything. But, I went to Afghanistan and there was no thought in my mind that Afghanistan was going to be the easiest thing in the world. That if I thought that Afghanistan was going to be easy and that this was going to be a simple deployment and it was going to be a fast deployment, I would have lost my mind out there, because it was nothing but, the 7 months just dragged on with IEDs, being stuck outside the wire, being outside the wire, being dirty, being tired, waking up at 4 a.m. every day, all sorts of things. And the reason why I would say that I didn't really breeze through that time, but the reason why I didn't freak out ever, and why I was there to do my job, but did my job, and didn't always have a smile on my face, but I always got everything that needed to get done, got done without me freaking out, and stayed on track, make sure my team was the top team. All these things happen because I mentally and physically and through training prepared myself to go to Afghanistan. First off, they send you to training before you go to Afghanistan. So they're already preparing you. They're not even really saying, nobody in the Marines is saying, hey, Afghanistan's going to be easy, unless you're in like a super chill unit that's like doesn't do anything. They just stay on base, which there is a lot of those people. But for the most part, they don't really tell you it's going to be easy. And that's to help prepare you. That's why these things, looking at the food, looking at your diet and how difficult it is to stick with an exercise program, you have to like mentally prepare yourself for these things. You have to know that it's not going to be easy. You have to know this is going to be one of the most difficult things that you're going to do in your life. If you got to lose 100, 200 pounds and you do it through complete diet and exercise and time, I mean, it is going to be one of the most difficult things that you do in your life. And again, if you're not ready for that, then there's a very good chance it's like jumping on a bull and not realizing that the bull is probably going to try to buck you off, right? If somebody says, "Hey, you see that big animal over there?" Well, it's a real sweetheart, and they really like it when people jump on the back of them and put their hand in the stirrup. And they really just like it. Once we open the gate, usually what happens is the bull just kind of, trounces out, picking up their heels, and they really put on a show for everybody because they just love it when people ride on the backs of them. Imagine if somebody told you that, and then you got on a bull, and as soon as that metal gate opened up, that bull just came bucking, and all of a sudden you're flying in the air, and then a bull is stepping on your face. So that's kind of what it's like if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to find the easiest, simplest, fastest way to do things, is that no matter what, the bull is going to, maybe the bull walks out, maybe the bull likes you for a second, but at some point, that bull is not going to like you sitting on top of him or her. And I think, no, bulls are hens. The bull is not going to like you sitting on top of him, and he's going to buck you off like he bucks everybody off. The fastest, or the people are pumped up if they can stay on a bull for 8 seconds. 8 seconds. 8 seconds is no time whatsoever. Like 8 seconds has already gone by the time of me just talking about the bull. We've already doubled over 8 seconds multiple times already. And that's how long people pride themselves. I stayed on the bull for 8 seconds. And again, that's similar to trying to lose weight. Okay, so again, my hope with this is to just hopefully show you that, look, you can ride the bull and maybe you can get to 8 seconds, but you need to know that the bull is going to buck. You need to know that is a violent, like 500-pound animal that could possibly kill you, right? Losing weight's not really going to, be that deadly, but you do need to understand that, look, if you're feeling down about yourself after a couple weeks, 3 weeks, a month down the road trying to lose weight, that's part of the process. And a lot of people hate hearing that, but that is part of the process, and everybody pretty much goes through it. So you just got to figure out your own way to get through it. Maybe that is falling off your diet for a day and just sitting on the couch and eating some ice cream all day. Maybe that is the answer, as long as you get back to it the next day. But also maybe the answer is coming to the Casually Fit podcast. I don't know. But yes, that is the diet tip for this week. Take that advice in stride. And again, hopefully it helps you out. I'm going long with this. So I did want to just do this quickly. I did just want to give you some exercises to not do. Okay. Again, you could be doing the right thing with like saying, hey, I want to lose weight. And you got the exercise program, you got the diet program, you got all that. But if you're doing the wrong things and you're kind of just, you're treading water, you're not really going anywhere. So I want to help you kind of avoid that by just giving you 4 just quick exercises to stay away from. Again, we're running kind of long on this, definitely running long. So let me just give you this. We'll give you the Fit Freak of the Week, and then we'll get out of here. But so these 4 exercises, first off, it's a bicep curl machine. Look, if you're just starting off and you need to get comfortable with your body, like you haven't exercised at all, I am all for machines. I am all for people to just get used to moving their body again by jumping into a machine, because it's just a more controlled pinpointed exercise that you could be doing to where you can just be more aware of what's going on without having to worry about like some dumbbell moving around and you not having the strong enough stabilizer muscles to kind of handle it, and you're kind of flailing all around, right? So that's not really a good look. That's not really something that you want to do either. So I'm a fan of machines, but once you start getting used to your body and after a few weeks, a few months, you don't really have to do the bicep curl machine, okay? If you lose the weight and then all of a sudden you want to be a bodybuilder, sure, go ahead. Go hit up the bicep curl machine. But other than that, you don't really need it. It's such limited movement, and it's a little bit too pinpointed on just the bicep to where it's really not something that you should be focusing on. Sure, you could do bicep curls, but I would suggest maybe do standing dumbbell curls because you're activating more than just your bicep. You're getting just a bit better workout in. And when it comes to losing weight, you kind of want something that's going to activate a lot of things. You don't really want to be pinpointing too much. And doing the bicep curl machine, sure, you might be able to stack it up and curl some weight, but typically it's not really going to help you too much with that midsection. So I would say to skip that workout. So that's the first one. Second one is the tricep kickback. You see a lot of people doing this. Again, same type of person. If you're not trying to be a bodybuilder, you got to drop off a couple 100 pounds. Tricep kickback, you can kind of throw that one away. That's kind of like a toning one. That's kind of like it's a weird, kind of like an awkward way to exercise as well. So it's not really favorable for beginners. So I wouldn't suggest that. And again, it's just a very limited exercise that's again very pinpointed, and I just wouldn't suggest that for anybody trying to lose weight. So if you are doing the bicep curl machine, tricep kickback, either one of those, X those out. There are some better exercises. As far as triceps go, maybe try a close grip tricep bench press, right? You just go on the bench press and you just do a close grip and you just bench it, but you just have a close grip that activates your triceps, activates your chest, and gives you a little bit better workout there. Next one is the upright row. This one, again, it's not really going to be doing too much for people who are trying to lose weight. This is a bodybuilding kind of exercise. This is an upright row where they want the back muscles and they want the shoulders popping out, bulging out. You don't need to worry about that. And then lastly, another bodybuilding exercise that is highly contested. A lot of people think that it's going to injure you. It's going to injure people who aren't using it correctly. And the people who are usually only using it correctly are people who have been in the gym for like 10 plus years, i.e. bodybuilders who love pulling down some weight and they want to pull that weight down behind their neck. And if you're doing this trying to lose weight, again, another exercise you need to X out of. It is not something that you need to worry about. There are a lot better exercises, like doing just a regular pull down. You don't have to go behind your neck. Just do a regular pull down. Just do pull ups. Those are better exercises if you're trying to work out your back. But yeah, that's that. And then let's end it with the Fit Freak of the Week. This is Kettlebell Warrior, Bill ESCH. I'm not sure how to say it. I don't know. But this dude's a freak. I don't know how old he is. I'm not going to try to throw him any shade. But the reason that he caught my eye, sorry, Kettlebell Warrior, is because he's older. But I like that he's older because this old dude, he's not that old. Well, he's probably like 40-ish, but this dude, I mean, he's ripped. He loves kettlebells. He calls himself a kettlebell warrior. He's got a six-pack. He likes throwing these things around, and he's in great shape. But again, he's a fit freak. If you're watching this, you just see him throwing up this kettlebell. He's in Nebraska, I saw. And this is exactly what I expect from anybody. And like right now, it's 8:30 at night on Tuesday night. Right now, I expect a white man to be in Nebraska throwing around a kettlebell. I mean, I expect there's probably like a couple dozen people doing that right now at this very moment in Nebraska. And so I was not surprised at this at all. And I am a fan of Kettlebell Warrior in Omaha, Nebraska, because again, he's a fit freak. If you follow him, you're going to get all kettlebell exercises, and you're going to get some good exercises that you can do if you're at that level. And yeah, I mean, he's kind of doing the splits, doing this shoulder press with, I don't know how many kilograms that is, but a decent amount of weight. So go check him out. He's a Fit Freak of the Week. Let's wrap this thing up, right? That's episode 43. As always, I appreciate you listening. Thank you for coming by. Next week, going to get you some great information, right? Next week, we're going to have a much better podcast, right? But yeah, I wish everybody well. Thank you again for stopping by, and have a good day.